Now, Egypt was not black for long. That's the truth. There might have been 50 kings or 50 rules, descendants. But the truth is, compared to other lifelines, for example, they get invaded by the Assyrians, but they defeat the Assyrians. They get invaded by the Persians after they get back their independence from the Assyrians. And then they are saved by the Greeks. I understand that. That's why I say Genghis Khan and Alexander made the mistake of not choosing the person that would replace them. As a result, the Mamluks would defeat the Mongols in Africa, and the Kulus or the Lulkus would defeat them in the Middle East. I understand. So when they say Ramses would fight the Hittites, they don't say that the Anatolians and the Egyptians and the Kushites come from the same descendants. They come from the same tribe. I understand that they all pray to Anku, all believe that their kings are descended from gods. This thing does not start with Egypt. Rome adopts it because we did it. I understand. They kicked us out of Europe because we ran it. But then let's stay on subject that in Egypt, a woman was just as important as the man. Cleopatra that we know is Cleopatra number 2 in a long line. Cleopatra's mother is born with Cleopatra's uncle, who's also her father, who and another uncle. And then they fight for power after the first couple gets married. I understand. People feeling that they should marry their children is because of they believed that their gods were born by the same pair of gods and they got married to preserve their pure bloodline. So now, after the Cleopatra mom dies, the uncles now fight for power. The uncle that is not her father ends up taking the power, killing his own son sometime later after they made a son, him and his sister. I understand, to make sure that the throne is his, Physcon. And then Cleopatra number 3 that we know, first child is by Physcon, her uncle, before she has a cesarean and the 3 kids that belong to Anton. So now cometh the Romans, the invasion. Cleopatra is the dead. Cleopatra's daughter and son were actually taken to Rome, paraded like all the people that had fallen at the hands of Julius Caesar or whoever followed after. Cleopatra number 3 grows up in Rome and then goes to Morocco to build her empire, and then she dies there. So you see how much of your history is not yours, is not told by you, because of it tells you how powerful you once were. But now let's talk about Atlantis. Atlantis, Pininki was the god of Atlantis, a woman with a bust. That's how her statue looked like. So now when the white man arrives and then he takes Pininki's statues and then he takes them to the Churros. The Churros is like northeast of Mauritius. So the Churros is currently belonging to America and UK. They take off there for their bombing missions in the Middle East. I understand. They take Pininki's figurines and then they dump them there so that they call that place a heritage site. The truth is, the heritage site was on the far west of Africa, northwest Africa. That's where Atlantis was. So now at the back of Pininki's statues, there's a round circles, 2 round circles. Those 2 round circles represent the volcano that made their land so fertile and would also kill them as time went on. Now I understand. I asked the question in the previous video that of all the tribes that exist in the world, who says which tribe was the powerhouse. You know, when it comes to slavery, we brought slavery upon ourselves. Africans would clear land after a war. Just that also happens that it comes back to swallow us.